Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Boxing Rampage, episode 37. I am your host, JC, accompanied by
Flaco.
And today's episode is a long one, a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're going to discuss the fights that happened this weekend with Adrien Broner, Big Baby, and Charlo, Jermall Charlo. And obviously, we're going to be discussing the Vasily Lomachenko versus Mariaga fight, and as well as the
on the card,
Jesus Soto Caras versus Mauricio Abit Danny Garcia Herrera, and also the Raymundo Beltran fighting for his permanent residency in the United States versus an opponent. It slips my mind. Brian Vasquez. And also we'll be discussing other rumors. So we're going to jump right into the fights that happened this weekend. To start off, we're going to discuss the Jermall Charlo versus Jorge Heiland fight. Jorge Cripple Man Heiland. It was similar to Sergio Martinez and Cotto, but what is your take on that fight this weekend?
Basically, Heiland went to Argentina and picked up Sergio Martinez's legs.
Hey, you see legs? He's like, what's the dude in the Don't Be a Menace in South Central with the little legs? Yeah. He was like, his legs seemed to be up under him. He had like the stiff leg and everything. And I'm not taking anything away from Jermall Charlo. I mean, that's not up to him. He came in there to fight his opponent. That's the opponent he got, and he whooped his ass, and that's what he has. So yeah, pretty much, shout out to him. But I can't really put anything. I can't really elevate him to like, oh, he's ready for Triple G or Canelo with this fight. Hell no. Because I mean, I know in the post-fight interviews what I heard is like, oh, I'm ready for I know he mentioned Triple G. I know he mentioned Canelo. I know who else did he mention? I think I want to say, I'm not certain. Saunders fight. Yeah, I think he mentioned Saunders, but I don't think this fight puts him in a place for that. So I think he should fight someone who's fully able-bodied and 100% healthy and not a cripple.
It seemed like Highlander got injured during camp or something, and I heard rumors that basically he had coming in the ring, he had some tape on his knees, and the commissioner said he can't have that tape or something on his knees to like subtain it. Basically, the guy knew already, he came in for a paycheck. So it's like you said, basically you can't give Charlo that much credit for the win.
Still a win, but I don't add too much to it. So.
Yeah, it is.
So shout out to him. So the next fight, obviously, on that undercard was Gerald El Gallo Negro. For those of you who don't know, it's the Black Rooster versus Jarrell Baby. That's a big baby. What do you feed him? What do you feed him? Pork chops? That's a 300-pound baby. That's one of the babies on the Maury show. They should put a picture of Maury. Someone make that online. A picture of Maury and then a picture. We'll do that. We'll put the Maury Povich show where he used to do the obese kids, and then put Big Baby next to him. What are you feeding that kid? Tater tots and ice cream. But no. I thought that was his coming out party. What's your take on that fight? What did you see there?
I mean, he
298, bro. 298, bro. That motherfucker's a linebacker.
I mean, other than the first round, I think Gerald Washington didn't. I think he did good in the first round, but that was about it. I think Big Baby took over the fight and eventually got the stoppage on the, what was it, the 10th?
I think it was after. No, it was a 10-round fight. It was after the 8th. They didn't go into the next round, but I noticed Washington was on he was obviously on his back foot, moving a lot of excessive movement, and then I noticed like after the 7th round, he said, you know how like people normally sit on their stool? He basically plopped. He walked down to the corner. He went. They just like put his arms on things like, damn, that motherfucker's tired. You know? He's like, he put his arms on the side. He's like, I know Big Baby was tired too, but I felt like he was more concerned with his energy. He didn't throw a lot of punches, and I know he has power too. I mean, I don't think that he didn't have power. I just think that a lot of Big Baby's strategies is using his body, using his physicality, because he wasn't able to back him up, truth be told. So, I don't know, Big Baby. I would like to see him fight other heavyweights. I would like to see him and Deontay Wilder. See how that would play out.
That's the matchup that he's been calling out. That's the fight he wants. Eventually, it will happen. I don't think that it will happen this year, but maybe next year. I think that Big Baby should stay relevant, getting big fights. He should fight Martin or some other guy, out there. Brazil. He should fight Brazil, maybe.
Oh, Dominic Brazil. Yeah, that would be a good fight. So yeah. Or he could do the Jennings.
Yeah, Jennings.
You can find someone of that caliber on the come up, because that's something I've noticed a lot about these heavyweights, is that they lack a lot of experience, especially world experience as far as big fights. Obviously, they're hard to make, but a lot of the heavyweights, if you look at their records, it's very rare to find a heavyweight that has at least like 30, 40 wins under his belt. Like a lot of them have 8, 10 wins, like something real short. So I definitely thought it was his coming out party. I thought he fought a very good fight. He was very good on the inside. A lot of looping shots on the inside. He was able to get around Washington's jab. And pretty much later on, I mean, I think the ref did the right thing. He didn't notice any activity from Washington. Yeah. He wasn't being responsive, and they stopped the fight. So it was a culmination of things. I saw that he was just, he was taking punishment, and then he was just, like I said, he was plopping down in the 7th round. So later on, they had to walk him to his corner. So I thought that was a good fight. So obviously, next segment's the Mikey Garcia versus Adrien Broner fight. What's your take on that whole thing?
Basically, my opinion, it was a good fight. It was a dominant fight from one-sided fight from Garcia. I believe that Broner's the kind of fighter that he got to reset in order to load off his punches. So Mikey was not allowing him to. Mikey was not letting him counter punch, because he would have used a feint. And basically,
he uses angles too.
In angles, yeah. The movement and the angles to off his reset. So basically, I thought it was a masterful performance for Mikey Garcia, man. I hear a lot of people complain.
What'd you think of the power? What do you think? I think Broner's got a chin. I said that even in the prediction thing. I don't think that he's lacking power. I just think Broner has a lot of power. I mean, not power. Excuse me. He has great chin. Yeah.
The thing about you gotta understand is, if Broner, being the bigger guy, didn't sit down in the middle of the ring and exchange punches with Garcia, it's because he felt something.
Yeah.
So maybe his power is not that great, but it was good enough power in order to let Broner understand, like, hey, if we go at it, I could hurt you. So it had to be that, because why? If you're the bigger guy, right? Mm-hmm. You could sit in the middle of the ring and exchange punches with me, and you have the better off, and mostly in the later rounds when you already knew that you was up, down in the cards. So
also too, just the work rate. I know Mikey Garcia said that he was the more active fighter, and I believe at one point in this 12th round he threw about 112 punches. That's what the CompuBox number said. So total was about 400 punches that Broner landed, and about 800 punches, I think 788 that Garcia landed. So I think, like you said, he was being more. It didn't look like that. I mean, compared to like fighters like you looked at the Granados fight, and even in the Maidana fight, it's like, oh, those guys are throwing way more punches. I felt with Garcia, he was being more methodical. I mean, he had a high connect percentage for what he was doing, for the amount of punches he was throwing. And then pretty much he was connecting all of them, and then he would do variations, like you said. He would go to the head, the body, back to the head, throwing uppercuts. He caught him with a couple good uppercuts. I think at one point after the 4th round, he threw like 3 left-hand punches. He was like, man, that shit was amazing. Like, Broner was walking away. He was like, he hit him 3 times walking away. He was like, man, he looked impressive in that. So I think if I were him, I'd just move back down to 135, see what you can do at 135 there. And then when your body's ready, then just go up to 140. Besides 140 right now, I mean, I'm not saying it's a tall order, but to try to fight even a guy like a Crawford, or even someone even like an Ndango, I think is a tall order for even though what we saw was very good this night. And even Garcia said is like, he has more to show, but why go up the weight? If you can still make 35 and be the bigger man at that weight, or at least be more powerful, keep fighting at 35, and then when your body can't do it anymore, just go up to 40.
Yeah.
And just do that.
Yeah. One thing that I don't understand is a lot of people on social media is saying that they didn't see no special effect on Mikey.
You must be blind.
Hey, I mean,
he's very well structured.
He's a fundamental.
You never see him off balance. You never see him overreaching. A lot of times with fighters, they'll take a risk of taking a punch and they'll overreach. You never saw him off balance once during the fights where he took a punch, he went off balance, and then Broner was able to counter. And even when he had him against the ropes, like when he was hitting him, he was pulling him with the jab, and then he hit him to the body, then hit him again, and Broner was like, it wasn't hurt. The smart thing about Garcia, I noticed too, and Canelo does that as well, is that they do enough to win the round. If you notice, every time the round was over, he was like, yeah, I got this round. His game plan really, I mean, with a guy like Broner, you're not trying to beat everything. As long as he could win those little pieces, those little spurts in the fight, and judge, I got the judge, I got that round, got that round, got that round. That's why late in the fight finished strong, because he knew without a shadow of a doubt he wasn't going to give any round to Broner. And I honestly think I wouldn't give Broner more than 3 rounds in that fight.
I mean, Danny Jacobs gave him freaking, thought he was up.
But didn't Danny Jacobs say he'd be falling asleep in some fights? He'd be falling asleep at the, his kids be falling, him and his kid be falling asleep at the fight. So he probably fell asleep and just saw like the end of the fight.
He did mention that he
blacked out.
He was probably being biased, but even if you're biased, like he said,
there's no way.
There's no way you could give Broner.
You can't even. I can't even give him 4 rounds. Max, I give him 3 rounds.
Yeah, you can give him probably the
even Steve Farhood. I think only gave him like 2 rounds. That's it.
Yeah,
just he gave him no, he didn't give him the first round. He didn't give him the 9th. I think
another round. 10th. I think you could.
Yeah, that's it.
Those are rounds that you know. And then the thing is that it wasn't that he dominated the round. If they were close enough, and you go, all right, you could give him the round. Yeah, because he did better than. But those rounds, like. You gotta be really biased to Broner in order to give him like 4 rounds. So like,
and by no way are we saying that like Broner is not a good fighter. He's not a good competitor. It goes to show you how good Mikey is. But Broner's still a very good fighter. When he commits himself, he's excellent at what he does.
I think Broner need to change his camp. He need a refreshment.
I mean, going to Colorado will obviously help him make weight. And he was able to do the whole 12 rounds.
Yeah, I mean,
he didn't tire out. So conditioning wasn't an issue.
Conditioning.
He made the weight.
I think.
I think it's this. My take on this fight. The reason that he couldn't dominate is because he didn't have another game plan.
Exactly.
His game plan was he was hoping Mikey was going to go in there, throw a bunch of punches, and was be able to counter. But Mikey was selective with his shots. Mikey, you saw sometimes he would just walk around the ring, kind of see what he could take, and then he would open up. But he needs a better game plan. He needs to, do something else.
Because Broner does know that like, when he's losing a fight, he tend to come in strong. Like we saw it in the
Emmanuel Taylor,
where
Sean Porter,
and even the Michael Maidana fight, which I think he won, was it like 11th round?
Yeah, you thought he was out, but late he came on.
He came strong, and in this fight, I mean, he did. You could give him like I said, you could give him 9, and he put effort. But I think Mikey had.
They had a better game plan.
Yeah, a better game plan. And
they talked to Chino, and Chino was like, "Man, just stay on his ass, and that's it."
Yeah,
as long as they were able to outwork him, not like him, but at least outwork him till they made him think. They made it to where they threw more punches, but they still made him think. One thing, even with the Adrien Granados, the last guy he fought, Granados, yes, he outworked him, but he didn't make him think because he just kept throwing punches. He wouldn't faint. He wouldn't. Broner just knew, like, all right, this guy's gonna throw a bunch of punches. I just gotta, like, cover up, and that's more work. But with Garcia, with Mikey Garcia, he was smart because he was throwing a lot of punches, but he was, like you said, he was throwing feints. He was making him think. So it's like, dude, this guy's got power. He's not throwing a ton of punches, and he's still throwing more punches, but he's still making him think. Which, hence, you can't let off that offense. He was always more defensive.
So there's another thing with Granados is that they sparred each other, so Broner knew what was coming. So
yeah, he had an idea of what was to expect. So
usually, Mikey's a different style, different boxer. But yeah, I mean, also Broner is a guy. I don't think his career is over because of this. I think I think he need a change, a refreshment on his camp and
stay in Colorado.
Yeah, and probably go 147 and fight the likes of. You got Rios there. You got Victor Ortiz, who also won by KO. Shout out to Big Victor. He's trying to make a comeback. I don't see.
Maybe he could tune up Bradley. Tune his ass up. Get him out of retirement.
Bradley retired. You got Brandon Rios, Omar Figueroa. Those guys, fight those guys, and
those are still good fights.
Yeah, and he's a big name, and
he can carry those guys.
One thing that I noticed with this fight is that no matter what, people favor Broner. Danny Jacobs saying that he had him up. The judges giving him 4 rounds when you got to be biased to give him 4 rounds. 2 of the judges did. He's a marketable guy. I think it's not the end for him. I mean,
yeah, he's got time. All these people saying like, oh, his career is over, man. They full of shit. Like, this kid's not even 30 years old. He's like, what, 28, 29?
Yeah, he's still young.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he's marketable.
This whole, and I'm glad, like, I hate to go there, but this whole mentality of a loss means your life is over. What? If that was the case, motherfuckers have one stumble in their life and they fucking kill themselves. They jump off a bridge. Like, just because you have to take a loss, however it is, whether it's a decision or a knockdown, that's what a fighter is. A fighter doesn't quit. So this whole mentality of, oh, you lost by judges or whatever, my career is over. Like, if that's the way you think as a fighter, then you was never meant to be a fighter to begin with.
But that's a new age thing, because like back in the days, these boxers used to lose. Like look Mano de Piedra. That guy lost early in his career and kept losing, but then again he had impressive fights. He got great fights and he became champion over and over and over. I mean, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you're off, and sometimes when you have like the lifestyle, like Broner and even Duran, those guys they have that kind of lifestyle where they party and they blow up in between fights. But when they commit to coming and fighting and putting their hearts to it, they show off. So I think.
Message to you, Broner. Don't let this fight define your career. You still have a lot to show us. You're still growing as a fighter. If not physically in size, mentally, you're getting smarter. If anything, this fight taught you a lot. Just go back to the drawing board, rebuild, and I know we're gonna see more great things. He's a 4-time champion. I mean, there's a lot of other people still not even 4-time champions, and they're still out there. Granted, they may not be a guy in the best way. I know where you're going with it, but still, it still says 4 times. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like motherfuckers who win the Super Bowl or NBA championship. They got a ring, but they could have been on the bench for all we know. They could have, So either way. I still think he's a very good fighter. There's a lot of money for him to make fighting. Like I said, he's still a marketable guy. He fights the right people. He can still make a ton of money. And regardless of what happens tonight, he's gonna go in the history books as one of. I'm not gonna say one of the best, but one of the fighters of our time at least that's notable. He'll be in the Boxing Hall of Fame.
You think so?
Hell yeah. I mean, if his car don't get shot up and no crazy shit, but as long as Adrien stays here on Earth and everything's fine, he'll be okay.
I think if they manage his career from now on and affect that where he could.
But even he's smarter though. I think, yeah, of course I think he could be champion. I mean, the thing is, if you take the right opportunities, the thing is, I think there's pressure to fight a lot of high-level opposition, but if he manages his career to where he takes baby steps and fights the right people when he can and knows his body, respects his body well enough, he can be a champion again. I don't think he can't. I think he'll be a champion again. I mean, look at even, I hate to go back there, but look at Malignaggi, like, saying losses in career. Later on in his career, he became a champion in 147. Yeah. Maybe it was short-lived, obviously, but regardless of the fact, you can still get a belt and, put your name back on that pedestal to where you're being mentioned everywhere. But
Broner, Danny Garcia, what about that?
What did you say, Broner and Garcia?
Broner and Danny Garcia.
It's possible. I mean, I honestly, I wouldn't. I don't think Garcia should take a high caliber opponent coming back from a loss.
But they both came coming out from the loss. I mean, Broner, Garcia.
That makes sense. I mean, that probably when you put it that way, then it makes more sense. But who knows? I mean, you don't.
Yeah, Rios out there for Broner, so
I don't know.
Brandon Rios.
I think Broner would walk all over Rios back.
Yeah, I mean, but
I think the marketing of the fight, since they both talk shit, it will be a great fight. Brandon Rios is just like Broner, just he
likes to talk a lot.
Yeah, he likes to talk a lot of shit. So I mean, it would be a good marketing plan for like to put it together as far as
it could be a good fight while it lasts. I mean, maybe he won't take him out like Bradley did, but
Nah. So pretty much, we're gonna take a quick break, and then the next segment we're gonna go into is we're gonna talk about whatever boxing news and rumors. So just stick around, and that'll be the next video we have. Okay. All right.